Sometimes you get data from other sources, and it looks like what we see in column A. Now, nothing truly wrong with that, but it's all uppercase, and it doesn't really have to be. And you could make a case for saying, well, that takes up more horizontal space than we really want. And so a name like Don O'Brien, as we see it in A2, a lot of us would want it to look the way we see it in B2. And it's easily handled with a function called proper. Proper will capitalize any letter that begins the entry or follows space or punctuation. We'd like to see the B in O'Brien capitalized. We'd like to see, for example, in row 8, the J in Jones to be capitalized. Also the M in Morgan, of course, and the E in Eric. Just the first letters. The function is called proper. And as we focus on cell A2, Control Enter here, and we'll simply double-click, and you see what happens to all of them. Nicely cleaned up quickly. Notice what it does not do. The first D in McDonald is not capitalized. However, if you wanted that to happen, and of course you probably would have retyped it anyway, but if you put a space after Mac, and that's typically not how we see the name, although occasionally it is, that will cause the D in McDonald to be capitalized. But how many of those would you really have? But you see what it's doing in other cases, and it does exactly what we would want it to do. Now, sometimes you have case issues of a different nature. In column H, we've got part numbers here, and maybe whoever was typing these just wasn't paying attention and thought, well, it doesn't really make any difference whether the letters are upper or lowercase, so nothing was done special there. And in a certain sense, maybe it's not truly wrong, but it generally looks better if those letters are capitalized. So as we zoom in a little bit, we can see it a bit better. In an adjacent column, we will simply use the function called upper, meaning uppercase. This will do nothing to the numbers, but it will make the letters uppercase. And that tends to look a lot better by most people's estimation. Once again, a double click. In all these examples where we're using an additional column to clean up the data, eventually what we want to do, in most cases, is simply to take these results and paste them on top of the old data. And the fast, easy way to do this is with the data selected, drag any edge, maybe the top edge, drag it on top of the old data using the right mouse button. And when you let go, the pop-up menu gives you the option, copy here as values only. And those are all cleaned up, and we don't need column I anymore. Get rid of it. And that looks much better. I think most people would agree. There is another function called lower. We wouldn't use it in this case, and it's not needed nearly as often, but it allows letters to be converted to all lowercase. So proper, lower, and upper have their roles to play in cleaning up the data, making it look the way you want to. And back in column D here, in our entries here, surely here we probably want to copy that into column A. Once again, selecting the data and with the right mouse button, dragging it into column A, letting go of the right mouse button, copy here as values only. And then we don't need this data anymore either.